Hey boys and girls, today we're going to do just a little bit of a review of some things from chapter 4. Really just one thing. Basically we're going to be simplifying expressions. And later on this week we're going to do working with some equations. Just kind of go back to chapter 4 and just making sure we're good with all that stuff on there. I'm also going to give you a couple new things with probability as well. But anyway, let's do this. So I'm not going to do all these examples I have here. I'm just going to do 3 or 4 of them just so to refresh my memory, and then you're going to do some on your own, and then that's that. So first one, let's do this one. Number 1, I'm going to write it over here though. So I have negative 7a minus 6 plus negative 7a plus 6. Now remember, when you see these parentheses, we're going to get rid of the parentheses. We want to get rid of them. Now, we have to remember, though, that when you see these parentheses, that there's no number in front of there. It's understood that there's actually a 1 in front of there. So there's a 1 here and there's a 1 there, okay? So now, to simplify this, I'm going to do 1 times negative 7a, which is negative 7a. I'm going to do 1 times negative 6, which is negative 6. Then I'm going to do 1 times negative 7a, which again is negative 7a, and then 1 times, I did this, then I'm doing 1 times 6, and that's going to give me a positive 6. So now what I'm going to do is I want to collect my like terms. So notice here I have a negative 7a, and then I have another term that's got a variable with it, and that's another negative 7a. And remember, the sign that's in front of the term is sort of married to it. You got to keep it together, all right? So let's do that. Let's do negative 7a. If I write this out as negative 7a minus 7a, well, negative 7 minus 7 is negative 14. So therefore, I have negative 14a. Now, the other set of like terms I have are these, the negative 6's. So I have a negative 6 plus 6. And if I write that expression out as negative 6 plus 6, well, that's 0. So that means my expression, this expression for number 1, when I simplify, when I add these two expressions together and I simplify it, I wind up with negative 14a. All right? Let's look at let's do the next one. Yeah, let's do that one. So let's go, number 2 gives me 3n minus 1. I don't know what to be there, but I'm going to write n. So let's put that in parentheses. Minus 6 times n plus 5. Okay, so for this one, remember, if there's, in front of the parentheses, if there's no number, then there's a 1 there. But in this one, there is a number. So we're not going to write a 1. There's a 6 there, but it's not really just a 6. You have to look at it as it's a negative 6. Okay, so keep that in mind. So same thing here. We're going to simplify, get rid of these parentheses by distributing here. 1 times 3n is 3n. And then 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Now over here, I'm going to do negative 6 times n, and that gives me negative 6n. And then negative 6 times 5 gives me a negative 30. All right? So now let's find those like terms. So I have a 3n and a negative 6n. So if I write that out, 3n minus 6n, well, 3 minus 6 is a negative 3. So therefore, 3n minus 6n is negative 3n. And then let's do this. Let's do the negative 1 minus 30. So negative 1 minus 30 is equal to, so negative 1 minus 30 is going to be negative 31. So it's minus 31. So that's what when I subtract those expressions, I do this expression minus that expression, and I simplify, I get negative 3n minus 31. Now let's do one more. Let's go with number, I don't know, let's go number 9. Let's go number 9. All right. So for number 9, we have that's number 5. Bum, 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 bum. So 5 gives us 3 times 6n minus 9 minus 6 times n minus 6. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and simplify here. We'll expand these out by using the distributive property. So 3 times 6n gives me 18n, and 3 times negative 9 gives me negative 27. Over here, we have negative 6 times n gives me negative 6n, and then negative 6 times negative 6 gives me a positive 36. All right, so let's do our like terms. So we have 18n here, and then minus 6n. So 18n minus 6n is going to equal 12n, and then we have negative 27 plus 36. So negative 27 plus 36, and that's going to equal a positive 9. So I'm going to write plus 9. So here's the expression in its simplest form. All right. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. The thing I'm going to give you guys with I'm going to throw some fractions in there, some decimals in there, and some equations. So, but this is just building blocks here. So anyway, I'm going to give you a worksheet that looks just like this. Do all 10 of them, and that's that.